Jamal Does Vinyl. I'm your host, Jamal Radio Raheem. Now, Jamal Does Vinyl is a show about vinyl records. Whether I'm going to a record store, whether I'm showing you my collection, whether I'm interviewing somebody, as long as it's about vinyls, that's what you're going to get. Now, in this episode, I am interviewing Autumn. Autumn is somebody that I found on TikTok who has great content. She's great music content. If you ain't following her on that, you should be following her. All her information will be in the description. This episode, we're just gonna talk about vinyl. That's it. I'm gonna ask her some questions. She's gonna answer it. The interview is pretty long. It's pretty long. So get your popcorn, get your meal, sit down, relax, and enjoy it. Without further ado, let's get into the episode.
Ooh, darling, I just can't stop. Ooh, darling, I just, ooh, darling, I just, ooh, darling, I just can't stop. Ooh, darling.
What is the first vinyl that you either purchased or you got as a gift?
So the first vinyl that I purchased was Thriller. Pretty basic. I know everyone. I feel like a lot of people say like Thriller is their first album,
Pretty
but
basic.
me and my friend Nate just went to a record store, and Thriller was the only album that I actually cared enough about to buy. So this is my first album, and I got this album before I even got a record player. So keep that in mind. And
I did.
then, oh,
I get
go ahead.
that. No, I get that. I bought a whole bunch of records before I got a record player, so it makes sense.
Luckily for me, I only bought this one record before I got a record player. After that, I had one, so I didn't have like a stack of vinyls before I got a record player. But the first one that I got gifted to me was Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. So about this about this vinyl. So I was at a record store with someone, and they were like, "I'll buy it for you." I was like, "Okay, that's nice." Why is this a bootleg?
You got a bootleg?
This this is a bootleg, and it looks so real. And the reason why I found out it was a bootleg is because when I opened it,
Wow.
it's pink.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? Like, why is this a bootleg? And then, like, of course, like, I'm examining, like, the cover a bit more, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this is definitely a bootleg. And I didn't realize it in the store. Now, I don't know if they realized that it was a bootleg or not, but this is a bootleg, and I'm probably gonna buy, like a real copy. But yeah, this is a bootleg, and it was gifted to me. I think I got it, well, last year, so 2023.
How long have you been collecting vinyl for? I guess that's a question that I want to know because Mr. Morale is
Well,
pretty recent.
this is why I say I have a problem because I've only been collecting vinyl since like February of 2023, so not even a year yet.
Hmm.
And I have 140 vinyls right
Yeah, you
now.
got a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro, you dropped a grip on vinyl in like a year. That's crazy.
On my Discogs, it says that my record collection is worth like $8,000. I'm like, there's no way
You
that
dropped $8,000 on vinyl within
well,
less than a
okay.
year.
So on Discogs, like it has the cheapest amount that they
Hmm.
estimate that you like pay for all of them, a median price, and then a price that they think is the highest value for all of them. So the highest value says like 8,000 something, but the lowest says like around 1,200 or something like that, and I think in the middle it's like 3,000. That sounds about more right.
That's
Three.
still a lot of money. You acting like, oh, it's just $3,000 in less than a year.
It is, but at the same time, like I do have 140 vinyls, so I think it adds up. I know for sure I did not spend $8,000. If I did, then that is another problem for another day. But
Nope.
yeah, those are the first two. First, I purchased with my own money, Thriller, and then someone that get like I got it gifted was Mr. Morale.
You can tell. Actually, just put that cover up again. Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah, look at the back. That looks so fake. It just looks so fake.
I don't even spin that record either. I have
I
it.
haven't like once I realized that it was a bootleg, and I was like, why is it? Oh, and then like like on the when you have a record in the middle, it typically shows like the track list.
Hmm.
On this one, it's just like a picture. Like first off, it's pink, so that's already like
Yeah.
this is fake. And then it doesn't have like the little track list in the middle, so I was like, okay, I never like played it or anything. because of that reason.
You
So I'm just
should
gonna buy.
play it and see if like it might be something crazy on there. You don't know. Okay, what vinyl you believe everybody should have in their collection? For me, like I'll give an example. I think everybody should have Stevie Wonder like songs in the key of life. I think everybody should have that. So
Yeah.
what record do you think everybody should have? Or records
So
if you have multiple?
I only picked one for this section, and once again, this is pretty cliche, obvious. I feel like most people would agree with me, but it's Whitney Houston's debut self-titled. Primarily because I mean she's the greatest voice of all time. This is like her stamp on the music industry. And around this time, a lot of people did not like Whitney for some reason. Like they didn't like that she was, a
Poppy.
poppy black
Yeah.
woman. And so like this album like embodies like pop, R&B, like any topic you can think of. Like I feel like it's covered in this album. And then also one of my favorite songs of all time is from this album. So of course, like I think everyone should have it because
What's the
phenomenal
song?
album front. Oh, the song is "Saving All My Love for You." Best
Oh,
best R&B song of all time. I know
the side chick anthem of all side chick anthems is your favorite.
I know the context is crazy. But
Yeah.
Whitney really like snap. Like she literally this is like that is such a beautiful song. If you take away what it actually means and you just listen to the song, phenomenal karaoke song.
So if you take the lyrics of what the song is saying away from the song, it's
Like if
good.
if you're just listening into it obliviously and not focusing on what she's saying, beautiful. It's a beautiful record, period, right?
Listen, I have that record on my wall. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, you can't. Let's see.
No, I can't. Oh yeah, I see it right there.
Yeah, I have it on my wall, so I agree.
Yeah, I
That's
think everyone should have this, especially if you're into R&B. I feel like this is kind of like an obvious pickup that everyone should have. So if someone doesn't have this, they just repressed these actually. Because when I got it, it was a repress, and it was I think February of last year. Actually, on Valentine's Day last
damn,
year.
how many records did you buy in February? You went crazy when you were in February.
I don't even remember, but I got this from Amazon, I think, and then I started seeing it in stores because I knew that it was gonna get repressed on Valentine's Day. So,
I got it for pretty cheap too. I got it for like $9.
oh, see, mine was like 30.
When you live in an area that don't have a lot of black people, people don't they underprice R&B a lot. Rap gets crazy.
Yeah.
R&B, I'm like, oh, you're
So
selling this for like
what would you say like the average price for a modern rap record?
modern as in who though? Get like Travis Scott's going for like
Um,
50, 40, $50.
like all of his albums,
Except like Astroworld.
Birds is $50.
Yeah. In the record store. You can get it online for cheaper. I've seen it online for 20, but
Yeah, that's what I was like. Okay.
Kendrick,
Yeah,
Mr. Morale is like 45.
I think it's because it's 180 grams. So
So
it's
some of
more.
the albums though, you can get certain albums of like I mean, I'm on the West Coast, so Kendrick's gonna always be expensive. Snoop Dogg's gonna always be expensive. But like East Coast artists, not expensive like that here. So I think
I'm
it
not,
depends.
I'm not the biggest fan of Doggy Style, but you know it got repressed, right?
I know. I was about to buy it the other day. I went to the record store. Literally, I have like it's literally right here. I have to record
Oh
this. It's
yeah.
literally right here. Just went to the record store, but I was gonna get it, but I was like, man, I'm already dropping a lot of money right now. I can't be doing all this. Got
But
bills.
that's why I was like, I need to relax because I'm going to Europe for 12 days next month. I was like, I don't need to go to the record store to buy a damn thing. Unless the
Well,
record can be $1, then I'm not buying it.
you should go over there and get it though. I'm sure they got some
Don't,
stuff.
don't give me ideas.
I mean, budget yourself. You can budget.
No.
You should. That's why when I go to a record store, I pull out cash. So
Right.
if I spend, I'm like, I'm not using my card. Whatever I spend is cash. So that's how I control myself because
Really. But
I'll
knowing
be.
me, I'll be like, how much do I really want this record? Especially if it's something I've been looking for a while. Like I'm just gonna buy it.
Yeah, you're a baller.
Yeah.
Speaking of finds, what is your best find that you would
So I have
say?
two. So the first is "Don't Be Cruel" by Bobby Brown. I was looking for this for months,
I don't
and
have that
one day
one.
I was just at this record store in my city, and I was going through like the new arrivals section for like R&B and soul. I'm just, doop doop doop, and I kept seeing like singles from this album, and I was like, I don't want to buy a single. Like, I'm not buying a single. So I just kept looking, and then the entire thing popped up. So I would say Don't Be Cruel. I was looking for it for a while, and I think I got it for $15. So I was this close to just going on Discogs and
You got
being
it
like,
for
okay,
$15?
yeah, yeah. So I was very lucky to find this, and during the same like day that I went to go find this, I found Minnie Riperton's debut album. I have Guy's album. I think I made a video about it. If you saw it on my
Yeah,
page.
I saw that guy because I've been trying to get that album.
Yeah, I actually for some reason I think I have another copy of that
That
somewhere.
album is.
Cause like
Whew.
my grandma and grandpa had like a bunch of vinyls at their house, and I was over there and I was looking, and they had some like gems in there, and I think one of them was Guy, and I don't remember where I put it. That's why I think I bought another copy, but I feel like I have another one. Like, and I have an Amazing Grace by Aretha Franklin. Right now, that's going for like $100. I got it for free. So
I got a couple albums that I got for, like basically for free, and I'm like, man, I can sell it, but I really don't want to sell them. But if it gets bad, down bad, I will. But I
I
don't
don't think I
think
would ever. Well, never say never. But right now, I don't think I would sell any of my records on
I'll
there.
never. Yeah, I'll probably.
That's for me.
I don't anticipate getting down bad. I also work in education. I always have a job, so.
Yeah, true. So my second pick is the Wiz soundtrack. Um, Once
Hmm.
again, I was looking for this for a while. This close to buying it on Discogs. Found it randomly for $10 at a record store. Like on at the record store, it was like at the record store it was $10. On Discog, it was like 30. I was like, do I want to pay $30 for the Wiz soundtrack? Yes, I would. But like, I was like, let me just go look and find it in person first, and then stumbled upon it. Perfect copy, no scratches, nothing. Like it plays very well.
Um, what got you into like collecting vinyl? I guess.
Um, I really don't have like a spectacular answer for that. I really like and cherish like physical media. So, and I feel like my parents have a CD collection, and I was like, well, I ain't finna buy a CD player and buy CDs like that. That was just not happening. So I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna just start collecting vinyl. So then I kind of looked into it, and I was like, all right, this is kind of an expensive hobby. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I mean, why not? And then also, like, I don't know if you can see my wall right there, but I wanted like a wall of vinyls. I feel like pretty cliche answer. Like, I just like the how it looks on the wall. And then, like I said, I like physical media, and I was thinking about getting CDs, but now I was like, I'm not getting CDs, so vinyl it is.
You know,
Like
CDs is much cheaper, right?
they are, but at the same time, I wasn't gonna buy like a little CD
I have a
player.
whole bunch of CDs. I have a stereo though, so I have an old
See that,
stereo.
like, okay, like that, like, if I would have thought about it a little bit more before I like started collecting, I might have gotten CDs, but I still think I would have leaned more towards vinyls anyways, because I like how they look on the wall. And like one of my pet peeves is those people who put vinyls on the wall and like they don't play them. So like
Mm.
I've I think I've pretty much played everything except a couple. One of them being this Mr. Morale record. And I was just like, yeah, like if I'm gonna buy something and put it on the wall, it's gonna get played, like for sure. So
Yeah, I play every vinyl I get, even the people that like collector's edition stuff. I'm playing it. That's why I don't consider myself a collector because I'm like, nope, I play everything, and I don't plan on
exactly.
selling. I
But I feel
don't.
like that's the idea of collecting though. Like as long as you have it and you don't really want to do anything with it, I think that's deemed to be a, like you're a collector. Now I'm with you. I don't agree with that. Oh, I'm gonna buy a record, $150 record and don't play it. Hell no. Like I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna play it until it stops working because I paid $150 for it. So
Yes, I'm like record store day, uh, either last year or a couple of years ago. I was trying to get a Nicki Minaj her mixtape, and some dude bought like I don't know why they let people do this. He bought 3 copies, and he saw me trying to get it. Bro tried to sell me the record for like $130.
hell no.
I was like, bro, we're at the record store. He's trying to sell me it, like, 'cause he's seen I was trying to get it. So he bought it, and then he saw me outside. He tried to sell it to me. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like,
Was
I'm
it
good.
Beat Me Up, Scotty?
Yep.
I see that all the time. Now,
Now I
yeah,
see it now. That's why I'm like, people who try to get stuff on record store day and you don't get it, just wait. Just have the
literally,
patience.
just wait. It's going.
Just wait a little bit. You wait a little bit, you're gonna get it because they're
Exactly.
gonna print it. They're gonna press it. I
That's
don't.
what happened with me with Jaguar too. Like, I wanted to get it online. Like when she first released it on her store, I
Oh,
was like, I'm just wait until it gets into the store because I don't want to pay like the $12 shipping. And I waited till it got to the store and I bought it.
thing is, that record, because I pre-ordered it and got it and everything, I have yet to see that at any of the record stores that I've been out here.
Oh, really?
I have yet to see it. So I'm like, well, I'm glad I did that because I wouldn't have got it. So yeah, they don't really have, because she's not like a big artist like that. Like the R&B section out here, it has artists like Beyonce, Marvin Gaye, um,
Like the big names. Like,
Whitney, yeah, and they'll have like like Bay Area people, like Tony, like or Tone. They're here because like Bay Area people, but
I'm actually looking for that revival.
oh, okay. If I see it, I'll let you know because they always have all of their stuff. Like
Really, I've yet to see it at all. I don't think I've seen any of their records ever though. Even singles. I don't think
even
so.
singles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just went to the record store I just went to. They had Anniversary on single. I should have bought it because I love that song. But they had a whole bunch of them because
Yeah.
they have like sections. So it'd be like the albums and the singles section. That's why I like this record. Is there a vinyl you want to add to your collection outside of the ones you just told me?
I want SWV's first three albums, but I think they've only gotten pressed in the UK.
Yeah, good luck.
But I saw a girl on TikTok who had the album, and and I'm reading through the comments because other people are like, "Oh my god, like where did you get that? Where'd you get that?" And she was just like, "I just found it at a record store one day." And she lives in the US. That's how I'm like, okay, like so there's copies out there somewhere.
You probably
Maybe
gotta go
they're
to like
just
a thrift
not
store.
in my area. But even then, like every time I travel, I go to a record store,
I do
and
that
I'll
too.
look and I don't see it, and I'm just like, okay,
I've never
but I'm really
even
really
seen
wrong.
them at a record store. I've never seen anything of theirs. Not a single, not a
Me either.
T-shirt, nothing, not a CD. Like,
Nothing.
good luck.
Yeah, I really, really want their first three albums so bad, but if I don't get them, that's fine. They're on Discogs, but like they're kind of expensive. So unless they get repressed, which I don't see that happening, but
How long ago was the album? Because they might do like a 30
this
year
was like
anniversary.
'90s.
Yeah, I know, but with like what year? Because they might do like a 30-year anniversary,
Oh,
like they
I
did
think
like Doggy Style.
one of them was 1992, I think.
Oh, 30 years past.
Yeah. But then again, I feel like Snoop Dogg is he's more popular than SWV.
Oh yeah, Snoop Dogg's fucking like the
Yeah,
most.
so Snoop Dogg is Snoop Dogg. So it's just like I feel like they're more inclined to repress albums from artists that are like globally big
But they
versus
got, what's that one album they got that has it has like three of their biggest songs.
It's About Time, their debut.
Yeah, that album is going. I'm surprised that's not getting pressed.
No, I promise you, I've been looking for it since I've been collecting. No luck. Like you said, no singles, no anything. And
Yeah,
actually, I met this lady. Her name's Felicia, and she does vinyl content on TikTok. And I actually met her in person because I literally like I was at the record store and I was like, oh my god, that looks like this lady named Felicia. So I just asked her. I was like, oh, excuse me, ma'am. Like, is your name Felicia? And she was like, yes. Who's asking? I was just like, oh, my name's Autumn. I just follow you on TikTok. I really like your content. And we stood there and we talked for like 30 minutes. And we were talking about SWV. And she was saying like she would pay big money just to have a single of theirs on vinyl. Cause she doesn't. She was like, I can't find them either. I
yeah,
was like, oh well, good luck. Cause shit, like
that's why they're not even on my list of vinyls that I think I'm gonna get because I have no. I'm like, you're not getting that.
the chances of me getting that is very slim. But never know. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to Europe next month, so Possibly I can find something over there. Who knows?
Yeah, that's gonna be a hard one. If you get that one though,
If I get that one, I'm gonna just have to deem myself as one of the best vinyl collectors.
that's a great find. You're gonna have to really dig, like, cause I haven't seen anything from them.
I
Not
mean,
one single, not a
everything.
single.
If I don't, then it's fine. But
Is there another like album that you want on your in your collection?
I want Mariah Carey's debut album. This actually just got repressed, so I'm not gonna be too
Yeah, you can
pressed
get
about
that
it.
one.
The Incredible True Story by Logic. So this is before the corny allegations. Okay, that album is pretty good. I think it's the best. I think it's the last album, good album by Logic, and it just got repressed
I
not too.
like Under Pressure by Logic.
Me
That's
too. Anything before the Incredible True Story, I can understand if someone likes it. Anything past that,
I
bad 20.
actually like Logic's like nah, I don't like the Incredible True Story. I'm looking at the track list.
Really? Oh my gosh. I
I
don't know
like a
that.
couple songs on there. I like Fade Away. I like that might be Young Jesus.
That album is so good. I thoroughly enjoy it.
I didn't like the story that he was like the little theme that he was trying to go for with that album.
Hmm.
Um, but I like Logic's like I like his mixtapes and stuff. I used to listen to all his mixtapes of Young Sinatra. Like
Yeah, he was good at one point. He just corny
when he tried to
now.
be when he was like I'm black. I'm like no, we don't need you to say that. I
But
liked
he's
you better when I
corny.
thought you were white.
Speaking of corny, another album I want is Dark Sky Paradise by Big Sean.
I don't think Big Sean's
Can
corny.
never find it. I think it might get repressed next year because it came out in 2015. So we have one more year left.
Was
So
that album ever pressed?
yeah, it was. It's just hella expensive
That
on
album
this.
is fire. That
It's like
album's
in the
fire.
300s, and I was like, no.
I don't care what anybody says. That album's fire.
Oh yeah, I think it's Big
Whew.
Sean's best work, probably.
He was spitting on that. Whew.
Like he shot himself up in the ranks, and
That
then
got
I felt
Paradise on
like
there. Yeah, that album fire.
yeah, I really want it. I guess what it's one of my favorites from 2015. My favorite from Big Sean for sure, but I have not been able to find it ever. Oh, same with Culture by Migos.
You're not gonna find that.
Gaga. I no, actually, I found it one time,
For
but
how
it,
much
it
though?
was $200,
Yeah.
and I was like, no. I was like, nah, like it's okay.
So what are some of the recent purchases that you got?
So the last time I went to a record store, I was in Phoenix in December, and I got two. Well, I got a couple things, but these are the ones I like the most. So the first one was "I Feel for You," Shaka Khan. Great, phenomenal album. I think pretty much everyone knows this album for "Through the Wire." I think, or "Through the Fire," whatever. Great album. Really like it. I wanted her debut, but I haven't found it yet. I think the debut album is better, but I like this one just as much. And I think it was like $5.
That's a great ass deal.
Actually, it was six $6.99, and it was just sitting there.
Because they
Um,
don't be knowing black music in these areas.
exactly, and especially I was in Phoenix, so
Yep.
they had a lot of things, but I run into a lot of things I already have, or I'm like, do I like enough songs on this to really buy it? Because I do have a rule for myself. Like, if I like XYZ amount of songs on the album, then I'll buy it. If I don't, then I won't spend my money on it. That's why I was saying I won't necessarily buy Doggy Style. Not that it's a bad album, I just don't really care for it that
I
much.
love Doggy
So it's
Style.
really for me to like. You
But
have West Coast bias.
yeah. So
Yeah. So
that album's fantastic.
this is my new pride and joy.
Woo, that Mob Deep.
The infamous. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. I've been looking for this for a very long time, and I wanted to buy it in person because I like this is one of the, I was like I love this album so much I want to stumble upon it in person. Once again, I was in Phoenix. I'm just looking. I go to the Mob. I see like they had a section for Mob Deep. I was like, oh shit! So they must have like a lot of copies of their bodies of work. I'm looking. I'm looking. Boom, the infamous. Now it was $50.
That's not surprising.
but it's 180 grams, and I was
Oh,
like, okay, well that's whatever.
perfect
Plus, I was
album.
like, I really like this album. Like, I'm just gonna buy it and like I'll get the money back. It doesn't matter. So my new Pride and Joy. I have not played it yet, so I'll probably play it this weekend. But I'm very happy I have
A
this.
good one.
Actually, I'm probably gonna end up putting it on my wall over here.
What three vinyl would you listen that you own, mind you, would you listen to for the rest of your life, and why? Out of your whole collection.
So starting with Good Kid,
I
Mad
I
City.
knew it.
I mean, obviously, this is one of my favorite albums of all time. So of course, I'm gonna bring it with me. I have to listen to. I listen to this album so damn often, probably once a week. And I feel like that's pretty often.
That's a lot.
It's
That's
literally a
a lot.
masterpiece. I can never go without this album. Like it's my favorite, right? I mean, and I personally think it's the best Kendrick album. I know some people are gonna be like, "Oh, To Pimp a Butterfly is better." Well, what the fuck ever. This is. I think conceptually, I can understand that To Pimp a Butterfly is better, but this is my favorite, so I think it's better naturally. Um, so the first would be Good Kid, Mad City. Second, you mentioned this already, but Songs of the Key of Life. Um, I mean, I really like soul music, and I think this is like the epitome of like soul. Like if I were to go on the street and I asked 10 people, first off, name an artist. When you hear the word soul, like name an artist you would think of. I feel like most people would name Stevie Wonder, and then I feel like out of every album in his discography, I think people are most familiar with this one.
Yeah,
Plus, like I feel like the production on this is just insane.
crazy. It's
The
crazy.
funk of it, the just literally everything about this album is a hit for me. I can't name a single bad thing about this album that anyone would dislike. Like if I met someone who didn't know who Stevie Wonder is, I think I would probably tell them this is
Everybody knows one song off this album though. Even if like they think they don't, they know he has
yeah.
so many hits off this album.
Yeah, like I feel like there's no in the ideal world, I don't think there's anyone that I would know that would not know anything from this album, but it's possible, probably.
Like, isn't she lovely?
Oh yeah, white people love that song actually.
I wasn't gonna say that, but
I love that song, but yeah, like I would pick this because I mean, yeah. And the last one, I feel like if you watch my TikToks, y'all would not be surprised, but Midnight Marauders by Tribe Called Quest. My favorite Tribe album, and also Tribe is my favorite group of all time. I think it kind of just brings the jazzy elements of hip hop into this, and it's more relaxing to listen to rather than like something. Oh, Good Command City is fine to listen to, but the vibes are different. Like it's like I feel like they're kind of on opposite spectrums. So like I feel like if I wanted to listen to something more soft, I'm picking this. Also, with just like the context and the themes of this album, I just really like, and I feel like this is something that the topics are still very like prevalent today. I feel like it's a very timeless record, I would say. So, like I said, and plus this is my favorite Tribe album, so of course I'm playing it like no way. And I know some people are gonna be like, oh, the Low End Theory is better
I mean that's my favorite album. Low End Theory is my favorite album. So
of
I
all
mean
time or by Tribe.
all time. Like
Oh, see, like that's why I'm not gonna argue with you because it's like if that's your favorite, then like yeah, like for sure, like that's your favorite. And the thing is, like I know a lot of people who would say that Low End Theory is their best. Personally,
Low End Theory. Okay, I think Midnight Marauders might be a better album as far because like they're more mature. Their lyrics they're better. They know their sound. Low
yeah.
End Theory, like it got me into like samples. It got me into like jazz. It got me into like so that it's different. Like it's my favorite for different reasons.
Like I feel like with Midnight Marauders, like the cadence, the flow, the metaphors that they use, like you said, it's very matured versus their two previous bodies of work. So for that reason alone, I'm picking Midnight Marauders. But like I said, like if someone tells me like Low End Theory is better, I'm not gonna like question it because Low End Theory is a very good album. Just Midnight. Marauders is better. And I
Listen,
think Midnight Marauders is sonically better as well. Like I think if I were to like introduce someone to Tribe, I would put this on.
before Low End Theory, you know what? That's a debate for a different day because I would get
Yeah,
Low End Theory to me sounds better sonically.
really.
Yeah.
Oh,
Midnight Marauders, I think, really, Midnight Marauders, I think Fife is much better on Midnight Marauders. Like,
yeah.
literally, just 8 million stories. That song alone, like, lyrically, he's better. I think that Q-Tip's production is banging on both projects. I just like the sound of Low End Theory. That shit sounds perfect.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not like you are completely right. Like I feel like we're both completely right in our own ways. I don't think there's a wrong answer in this, and I'm a person who believes that there's a wrong answer sometimes. It's like between like, oh, what's the best Tribe album? I honestly, if someone said one of the three, the big three, I'll be like, yeah, you're right. Like no debates from me. I just really like Midnight Marauders. I play it very often.
What advice would you give to someone who just like got into collecting like yourself, I guess?
Don't be like don't be like me. That's the first advice. I would say know that this is a very expensive hobby to upkeep. Um, whether and time, honestly, like especially when you're like cleaning your vinyls and you're preparing to like spin them, like you should really take care of them. Also, you want to make sure that they're like organized the right way so they're not like warping and all that shit. So I would say time, and also it's a very expensive hobby to like upkeep. The second piece of advice is there's nothing wrong with starting out with a suitcase player. I started off with a suitcase player and then I eventually upgraded to Audio Technica. But people say like, oh, don't buy a suitcase player. And that's true, like over time, like you really shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
a suitcase player. But like if you're just starting out and you're trying to get your feet wet to see if you even are interested in something like this, a suitcase player is perfectly fine. But I will say once you upgrade, and I prefer Audio Technica. Once you upgrade, and let's just say you get an Audio Technica, the sound difference
Yep.
is insane. Like, is night and day. So I would say that, and then also like speakers are very expensive. Like, this is an expensive hobby, like all around. So just be prepared to be financially dedicated to it. Also I would say be patient, and also make sure you're comparing prices before you like buy something. So, for example, I was looking for Rapture by Anita Baker for the longest. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to just buy it from Discogs. I bought it from Discogs, and I think it was like $30 or something. I swear to God, like every time I go to the record store now, I see it, and it's like $10.
Yeah, I got it. I got it off actually off eBay for like $8.
See that? And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I literally jumped the gun too quickly because I was like, oh, like I'm not gonna find it. I'm not gonna find it. And now I promise you, every time I go to a record store, I see it. $10, $15, cheaper than 30, basically. So I would say just be patient. And then when it comes to comparing prices, if you go to like a good example of this, actually, Travis Scott, Birds in the Trap Sing Midnight. At the record store, I always see it and it's like 30, $35. On Amazon, it's like $20.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with buying it for $20 and it's online versus paying 35 in person. So you're gonna spend $15 more because you wanna be that person who only wants to buy in person? No. So just compare the prices, and if you see something that's actually cheaper online, then just buy it online. Same thing with B Day. That's what I'm gonna do for B Day. That's the reason why I haven't bought it yet because it's every time I see it in person, it's more expensive.
B-Day is not going for a crazy price. I don't know what's going on at the record stores out there.
Like so, okay, basically on Amazon, I think it's like $26, but when I see it in person, it's $35.
I
To me,
paid
that's a
$29.
difference.
I paid $29 for B-Day at a record store.
Oh, see, no, not in Texas. Well, Beyonce's from Texas,
That's
so
yeah, that's probably why they know.
yeah. And then like, what else? Oh, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. I don't even have that because every time I see it in person, it's not cheaper to buy it in person than online. I just haven't bought it yet. But those are a few examples of like sometimes it's just cheaper to buy it online, and you should feel no shame. Now, unless you're like, oh, I want to get like a special color of it or whatever, if they have it in person, then like, okay, then I will understand buying it a little bit more expensive for colored pressing. But if this is like the standard black,
Yeah.
and you see that there's a price difference that's significant enough to you to where you're like, okay, like I'd rather just buy it online than just do that. Like, you know. And oh, and then the last thing will be, I think Discogs is really fun. I think everyone should have a Discogs account. You can just see what other people have. You can compare. You can see what other people are like on their want list and stuff like that. It's literally just like a vinyl inventory that's like on.
But thank you for joining. I'm hungry as hell. Thank you for joining. What can the people find you? All your information. I'm gonna put it in the description anyways, but you can say it.
You guys can find me at Autumn Be Reviewing on TikTok and Only Me Autumn on Instagram. And I also have a Autumn Be Reviewing Instagram, but I'm not active on there, just on TikTok. And then my personal Instagram is Only Me Autumn. That's it.
All right. Again, I want to thank Autumn for coming on. All of her information is in the description. It's in the description. So follow her on Instagram, follow her on TikTok. Let's get her to 1,000 so she can go live. Like, follow her. If you want some great hip hop content, great music content in general, she's a good follow. Trust me on that. I had to clip this episode. We were talking for a long time. So the conversation was actually an hour long. So if the clips seem like a little weird, it's because I had to clip it because we talked for like an hour. And I didn't want this to be like an hour long. It's already 40 some minutes. So thank y'all for watching. Thank Autumn for joining. And I'll catch y'all next week. Peace out.
I'm strong.